Live from New Delhi, you're watching DD India Live, India's voice to the world. I'm Tanvi Taneja. Coming up in the next 30 minutes. Prime Minister Narendra Modi completes 11 years in office on Monday, inaugurates locomotive manufacturing plant in Gujarat's Dahod, asserts Make in India will power Viksit Bharat. Post Trump's displeasure with Putin, Kremlin says Russian strikes on Ukrainian military targets were response to Ukrainian assault on Russian civilian targets. India launches Bharat forecast system, an advanced accurate weather forecast model. In line with his commitment to enhancing connectivity and building world-class travel infrastructure, Prime Minister Modi inaugurated Indian Railways locomotive manufacturing plant in Gujarat's Dahod. This plant will produce electric locomotives of 9,000 horsepower for domestic purposes and export. He also flagged off the first electric locomotive, paving the way for greener, faster and more sustainable rail travel. Further, Prime Minister Modi laid the foundation stone and inaugurated multiple development projects worth around 24,000 crore rupees, significantly boosting rail infrastructure, enhancing connectivity and driving economic growth of the region. Earlier, the Indian Prime Minister held a major roadshow in Vadodara city. The event drew thousands of supporters, reflecting local backing ahead of key national developments. Prime Minister Modi appreciated the warm reception, expressed his gratitude to the crowd for their support and blessings. Prime Minister is visiting Western Indian state of Gujarat for a 2-day visit. Prime Minister Narendra Modi said that Operation Sindoor is not just a military action but a reflection of Indian values and emotions. Addressing a rally in Gujarat's Dahod, the Prime Minister emphasized that considering the heinous nature of the acts by terrorists killing innocent people in Jammu and Kashmir's Pahalgam, India could not have remained silent.
Jammu Kashmir ke Pahalgam mein आतंकवादियों ने जो कुछ किया, क्या भारत चुप बैठ सकता है? क्या मोदी चुप बैठ सकता है? जब कोई हमारी बहनों के सिंदूर को मिटाएगा तो उसका भी मिटना तय हो जाता है। और इसलिए ऑपरेशन सिंदूर सिर्फ एक सैन्य कार्रवाई नहीं है, ये हम भारतीयों के संस्कारों, हमारी भावनाओं की अभिव्यक्ति है। आतंक फैलाने वालों को सपने में भी सोचा नहीं होगा।
Prime Minister Narendra Modi also held a mega roadshow in Bhuj, Gujarat. Thousands of supporters lined the streets to welcome the Prime Minister, showing their enthusiasm and support. India continues its global campaign against Pakistan-sponsored terrorism, with all-party parliamentary delegations engaged in diplomatic efforts, visiting key countries to spread the message of zero tolerance against terrorism. The all-party delegation, led by MP Kanimuri Karunanidhi, held a meeting with the chairperson of the Foreign Policy Committee of the National Assembly, Predrag Bakovic, and chair of India-Slovenia Parliamentary Friendship Group, Miroslav Djordjevic Ljubina, Slovenia. This visit to Slovenia aims to bolster international support for India's position on cross-border terrorism and Operation Sindoor. Another parliamentary delegation visited South Korea's Seoul to discuss India's new normal response to terrorism following Operation Sindoor, emphasizing no distinction between terrorists and its sponsors. The delegation led by JDU MP Sanjay Kumar Jha met Sung Il Jong, Chairman of National Defence Committee of National Assembly. The delegation discussed peace and security challenges in Jammu and Kashmir amid persistent external threats. The delegation also met with South Korea's first Vice Foreign Minister, Kim Hong-kyun, and briefed him on the recent heinous terrorist attack in Pahalgam. Kim strongly condemned the attack and expressed solidarity with India, underscoring the special strategic partnership between the two nations. In a significant diplomatic engagement, a high-level all-party delegation led by BJP Member of Parliament Baijant Panda met with Kuwait's Deputy Prime Minister and Minister of State for Cabinet Affairs Sharida Abdullah Saad Al Mosharjeh on Monday. The delegation of Indian parliamentarians are seeking to engage foreign governments on India's stance against terrorism. The initiative is aimed at presenting India's position on cross-border terrorism from Pakistan. India's External Affairs Minister Dr. S. Jaishankar chaired the consultative committee meeting of the Ministry of External Affairs in New Delhi. Discussions were held on Operation Sindoor and India's zero-tolerance policy against terrorism in all its forms and manifestations. The minister underlined the importance of sending a strong and united message in that regard. The second India-Maldives high-level core group meeting was held in New Delhi on Monday. Discussions focused on implementation of the India-Maldives joint vision of a comprehensive economic and maritime security partnership by intensifying political exchanges, defense and security cooperation, development partnership, trade, economy, health and people-to-people ties. A group of artists of Gond art and Madhubani art called on India's President Draupadi Murmu in New Delhi on Monday. President Murmu viewed these paintings made by the artists during their stay at Rashtrapati Bhavan under the Artists in Residence program Kala Utsav for a week. This Kala Utsav program provides platform to the folk, tribal and traditional artists of India who have continued the varied forms of art since generations. She appreciated their contribution to India's important traditional art forms and wished them success in their future artistic endeavors. India's Vice President Jagdeep Dhankar inaugurated the Krishi Udyog Samagam in Narsinghpur district of Madhya Pradesh on Monday. The event was attended by Chief Minister of Madhya Pradesh, Dr. Mohan Yadav, along with other dignitaries. Calling the event an unprecedented moment, Vice President Dhankar highlighted the importance of farmers in the development of the country. India's Home Minister Amit Shah laid the foundation stone for Swasti Nivas, a state-of-the-art residential facility at the National Cancer Institute in Nagpur. The facility is designed to provide a comforting space for patients and their loved ones during treatment. Lauding the initiative, the Home Minister said that Swasti Nivas will help preserve the emotional bonds of families through the difficult times.
स्वस्ति निवास की कल्पना कर हमारे भारत के अस्पताल बनाने के फील्ड में एक नए प्रकार का विचार देवेंद्र जी आपकी टीम ने किया है, कैंसर इंस्टीट्यूट की टीम ने किया है, जो आने वाले दिनों में हमारे परिवार की संवेदनाओं को जीवित रखेगा.
Union Minister of State for Science and Technology and Earth Sciences, Dr. Jitendra Singh, launched the high-resolution numerical weather prediction model called the Bharat Forecast System on Monday in New Delhi. The Bharat Forecast System is a numerical weather prediction model which incorporates artificial intelligence and machine learning techniques. The newly developed system will have a resolution of 6 kilometers, better than the previously used 12-kilometer global forecast system, providing more accurate and local weather forecast. Speaking at the event, the minister said that this system is thoroughly made in India and also lauded the women inclusive team.
This is simultaneously addressing more than one aspects which are very close in the priorities of this government headed by Prime Minister Modi. That at a time when India has risen to rank 4 in economy and has very evidently showcased to the world its technological prowess, we are also, in a way, asserting ourselves and our supremacy as far as our forecast system and meteorological capability is concerned. Second aspect, which is, I think, all these things go unspoken, is that Prime Minister keeps saying "Make in India," and I think what better a model than this, the Bharat FS. The name is Indian, the effort is Indian, and the makers are Indian.
On to weather updates now. The India Meteorological Department has forecasted heavy rainfall and thunderstorms across several regions, with warnings extending until the end of the week. Meanwhile, the southwest monsoon is further advanced into some more parts of central Arabian Sea, partially in Karnataka, Tamil Nadu, Telangana and Andhra Pradesh, Bay of Bengal, as well as most of the northeast India on Monday. Heavy rain continues to lash many parts of Kerala, uprooting trees and damaging crops, buildings and residential houses. Red alert has been issued for Pathanamthitta, Kottayam, Idukki, Ernakulam, Thrissur, Palakkad, Malappuram, Kozhikode, Wayanad, Kannur and Kasaragod districts on Monday, while orange alert has been issued for Thiruvananthapuram, Kollam and Alappuzha districts. The Met Department has also issued a heat wave alert for Rajasthan, forecasting that extreme temperatures will persist over the next 5 days. As per the IMD, severe heat wave conditions are forecast to continue in Rajasthan until May 27th and in Punjab, Haryana, Jammu and Kashmir until May 26th. India's western state of Maharashtra is facing heavy rains with thunder and lightning lashing Mumbai city and its suburbs since Sunday night. The heavy downpour has affected road traffic due to waterlogging in low-lying areas. Rail traffic has also been affected with waterlogging between the railway tracks at several stations. Meanwhile, heavy rains had created flood-like situation in villages near Karaha river, with many rivers still under the impact. State administration has been directed to remain on alert and carry out relief work. The Meteorological Department has predicted heavy rains with strong winds of 50 to 60 km per hour and lightning in some places in Mumbai in the next 3 to 4 hours. A red alert has been issued for Mumbai suburbs. In an audio speech to the nation, Bangladesh's Awami League leader Sheikh Hasina recalled that her father, Sheikh Mujibur Rahman, sacrificed his life for St. Martin's Island and cautioned against potential land giveaways. Notably, Bangladesh is in turmoil as the army claimed that Chief Advisor Mohammad Yunus is giving away a portion of the country's land to the United States in the name of the Rakhoi corridor. The army has strongly opposed this move. Further, Hasina claimed that she had previously cautioned public before the July 2024 uprising that some people were pressuring to give away land of Bangladesh, but regretted that people did not believe her at that time. In the audio speech, Hasina also labelled a number of allegations against Chief Advisor Mohammad Yunus. You're watching DD India Live, still to come on the show. Donald Trump and Ursula von der Leyen want to negotiate to get to the lowest tariffs possible. US tariff deadline on EU imports delayed till July the 9th. President Macron says France is signing €9 billion worth of contracts in Vietnam during his trip. And world champion Di Gukesh to take on Magnus Carlsen in the opening round of the Norway chess tournament beginning today at Stavanger.
Geopolitics and trade deals. Economic challenges amid development. Hard work and the path to prosperity. It's the economy always. Between walkers, money is what money does and says. Supply creates its own demand. Between the bulls pulls and bears tears. When supply chains globalization and India rises to the podium. We'll get you centered with the economic brief at 8 p.m. every Thursday on DD India.
Welcome back. You're watching DD India Live. I'm Tanvi Taneja. US President Donald Trump said that he was not interested in moving textile manufacturing back to America, saying he was focused on big things like computer chips and tanks.
We're not looking to make sneakers and T-shirts, and we want to make military equipment. We want to make big things. We want to do the AI thing with the computers and the many elements.
Further, Trump on Sunday backed off his threat to impose 50% tariffs on EU imports, agreeing to extend trade talks until July 9th. On Friday, Trump had warned of steep tariffs starting June 1st, citing frustration over stalled negotiations, sending shockwaves through global markets. However, after a phone call with European Commission President Ursula von der Leyen, who requested more time to reach a good deal, Trump agreed to delay. He told reporters she assured him that they would rapidly get together to find a common ground. Von der Leyen called the conversation good in a post on X and affirmed EU's readiness to move swiftly. The new timeline restores the original 90-day window set by Trump in April.
She just called me, as you know, and she asked for an extension on the June 1st date. And she said she wants to get down to serious negotiation because I've told you specifically, but I told anybody that would listen. They have to do that. And we had a very nice call, and I agreed to move it. I believe June 9th would be, July 9th would be the date. That was the date she requested. Could we move it from June 1st to July 9th? And I agreed to do that. And that she said we will rapidly get together and see if we can work something out.
Joining us with more on this story is DW correspondent Chiponda Chimbelu from Berlin. Hi, Chiponda. What's the latest on the trade talk negotiations between the Trump administration and the EU?
Thanks for having me. Well, the European Commission President Ursula von der Leyen said that Europe is ready to advance talks swiftly and decisively, and that the bloc needs until July 9th to come up with a good deal. Now, that is what she wrote in a social media post on X. Prior to Trump's announcement of the delay, the EU wasn't dramatic or alarmist in its response to the 50% tariff threat. Now, the bloc's top trade representative, Maroš Sefcovic, said that Brussels aims to secure a trade deal based on respect and not threats. And here in Germany, the finance minister, Lars Klingbeil, told the country's biggest newspaper, Bild, that tariffs are just as harmful for the US economy as they are for the EU's. It is, after all, the world's biggest trade relationship.
And Chiponda, which European products will be most affected?
Well, last year, there was 20.6% of exports from the EU going to the United States. So the prospect of 50% tariffs could, of course, deal a major blow to some industries here, especially the auto industry, manufacturing, luxury, the luxury sector, and of course, the chemicals industry. And one of the countries that could lose out the most is Germany. And we have already seen that with the auto industry, which has already been hit with higher tariffs, 25% to be exact. Several automakers here in Europe have, of course, lowered their guidance for this year because they are all expecting to take a major hit from the tariffs. Now, what is interesting is that pharmaceuticals, which are the biggest exports to the United States from the EU, have been left untouched by reciprocal tariffs. So the hope is that an escalation of the trade dispute can, of course, be avoided, and that the most recent threat from the United States and, of course, the US President Trump in particular, is a negotiating tactic.
Okay, thank you very much. Chiponda Chimbelu reporting from DW Berlin. US President Donald Trump issued a rare rebuke to Russian leader Vladimir Putin on Sunday, saying he was not happy with him after Moscow launched a record number of drone strikes against Ukraine.
I'm not happy with what Putin's doing. He's killing a lot of people, and I don't know what the hell happened to Putin. I've known him a long time, always gotten along with him, but he's sending rockets into cities and killing people, and I don't like it at all, okay? We're in the middle of talking, and he's shooting rockets into Kiev and other cities. I don't like it at all.
Responding to a question on the tarmac in Morristown, Trump said he was absolutely considering increasing US sanctions on Russia in response to the latest drone attacks. The US president intensified his criticism of his Russian counterpart by calling him absolutely crazy via a social media post. Trump in a post said, I have always had a very good relationship with Vladimir Putin of Russia, but something has happened to him. He has gone absolutely crazy. Trump did not stop short of criticizing Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky as well, saying the Ukrainian leader is doing his country no favors by talking the way he does. Everything out of his mouth causes problems. I don't like it and it better stop. Trump was speaking in reaction to a Russian barrage over 360 drones and missiles at Ukrainian cities overnight on Sunday, including capital Kiev, in the largest aerial attack of the conflict so far, killing at least 13 people and injuring dozens more. Kremlin spokesman Dmitry Peskov said on Monday that Russia struck military targets in Ukraine in response to the Ukrainian strikes on Russian civilian targets. This comes after the Ukraine's Air Force said that Russia targeted Ukrainian cities on Sunday night with over 360 drones and missiles.
Of course it is. This has already been said many times. We see how the Ukrainians are striking our social infrastructure, peaceful infrastructure facilities. This is a retaliatory strike, and a strike precisely at military facilities, at military targets.
Further, US President Donald Trump said on Sunday that real progress and serious progress had been made in negotiations with Iran, hinting at some potential good news on the issue soon. Speaking in New Jersey before heading to Washington, D.C., Trump suggested that additional talks with Iran could take place very soon. This follows the conclusion of a fifth round of discussions in Rome on Friday between US and Iranian officials. Iranian Foreign Minister Abbas Araghchi acknowledged the possibility of a breakthrough, noting that Oman had introduced several constructive proposals during the talks, offering a potential path forward in the long-standing nuclear dispute.
We've had some very, very good talks with Iran, and I don't know if I'll be telling you anything good or bad over the next 2 days, but I have a feeling I might be telling you something good. We've had some real progress. Serious progress. Very soon, the Iran talks. I can't tell you what's going to happen tomorrow. I can tell you the Iran talks have been going very well.
French President Emmanuel Macron, who is on a visit to Vietnam, signed deals on Airbus planes, defense and other pacts worth over $10 billion or 9 billion euros on Monday. A total of 14 deals were signed. Macron is the first French president to visit Vietnam in nearly a decade. The French president reiterated France's support of freedom of navigation and added that the partnership with Vietnam entails a reinforced defense cooperation. On to South America. Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro's party won big in parliamentary and regional elections held on Sunday, securing 23 out of 24 governor positions and dominating National Assembly votes. The party won with nearly 83% of votes, keeping the ruling party in control of the Attorney General's office and the top court, whose members are elected by lawmakers. However, the opposition, led by Maria Corina Machado, boycotted the elections, calling them a farce. The government also shut its border with Colombia, citing security concerns. And in sports, youngest world chess champion D. Gukesh will face world number 1 Magnus Carlsen in the opening round of the Norway chess tournament in Stavanger City on Monday, while first-timer Arjun Ergyasi will open his campaign against Wei Yi of China. In the women's section, Kuneru Hampi will compete against compatriot Vaishali Ramesh Babu in the first round. Norway chess consists of 6 players in the men's and women's sections and is played in a double round-robin format. It is one of the most prestigious events on the chess calendar. The 12-day tournament concludes on June the 6th. World number 1 Yannick Sinner will kick off his French Open campaign on Monday. Sinner bids to win a 3rd Grand Slam in a row when he begins his campaign against Frenchman Ard Rinderknecht. but his preparations have been hampered by a 3-month doping ban. American Francis Tiafoe breezed into the second round meanwhile when he beat Russia's Roman Saifulin 6-4, 7-5, 6-4 in the first round on Sunday. In the women's draw of the French Open, world number 1 Arna Sabalenka sounded an early warning to her rivals when she dismantled Kamila Rakimova in the opening round. Sabalenka blew away her opponent 6-1, 6-0 in an hour. Italian world number 4 Jasmine Paolini came back from a breakdown in the third set to beat China's Yuan Yue 6-1, 4-6, 6-3. And in IPL, Punjab Kings will face Mumbai Indians in the last league game of IPL 2025, and the side that wins this match will guarantee themselves a top 2 finish and a place in qualifier 1. Both Mumbai and Punjab are currently looking like the 2 most complete teams of the league stage this season. It will be an interesting competition between Punjab's high-scoring batting lineup and Mumbai's extremely miserly bowlers. Punjab Kings have particularly outscored all other teams by going at 11.68, while Mumbai's bowlers have picked the most wickets and been one of the toughest to score against. The game will be crucial for both teams as the winner will get a significant chance to make it to the top 2. And with that, we wrap up this edition of DD India Live. Do let us know your thoughts on the news of the day. Connect with us on our different social media handles at DD India Live. And you can also download our DD India mobile app for quick news and updates on the go. We'll be back with more news as it breaks here on DD India. I'm Tanvi Taneja from all of us here in New Delhi. Thank you for watching. Namaskar.